you guys, and welcome to Talk to Me. If you are here, it's because we're in the same boat. It is happening. It's not about to happen, it is happening, meaning that you have moved over into this next phase of life. You have been trust fallen for a while, and it's just like now you can finally feel the support on your back. Like you have just landed in the hands of God. Even though that thing hasn't materialized or manifested yet, you just know that it's here because you're walking in the belief of it. I finally, I was like, if God doesn't come through for me, then what was I doing of this for? And the answer is you're doing this because God will come through for you. And it needs to stay like that. And you finally get it. You finally get that at all times you are walking in what you believe, and that you have the power and the ability and the authority to simply switch over what you believe. Those promises of God that you've been reading about, it's all for naught if you decide that it is. But most of the time what we do is just like, oh my gosh, I got to save myself. My world's going to crumble. God wants the world to crumble around you so that you could live under the shadow of his good graces, his wings. But again, we have to be able to let go. So for me, I am at that point to where my hope has changed into my knowing. I've reached at that expected end, and now I just know that God's going to come through. And I'm walking in that. Like I said, I've switched over. I've devoted my career to the Lord. I've devoted my name to him, my steps, all this other stuff. I am 100% ready to be this new version, and all that I have to do every single day is show up as that, not worried about what the outside world says. Know that God's giving me time, effort, energy, all this stuff in order to be able to steward. I think one of the things that trips us all up is that we it's like we want money. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I was in that same boat too. And God had me get to a point to where I could finally say, yes, I could be a millionaire tomorrow. What would I do with it? And I said, nothing. I would wait on the Lord. And he let me know that's exactly where I needed to be. But the thing is, I don't necessarily need, $1 million right now at this very moment in my hand. What I do need to do is look at the money that I do have, the resources that I do have is precious. And I know that God is setting me up in a situation where I won't have to, devote pretty much everything that I make to some type of a bill. He is giving me overflow and allowing me to, now that I know that I'm standing in overflow, I've received this blessing from the Lord. Take his direction to give, 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 give. He didn't want me to have to be a millionaire before I said it. He wants me to be a thousandaire. He wants me to be a thousandaire and know that there are going to be times when he says, Alicia, give that person the perfume that you have on you. Give, that person a $10 tip. Let them know, hey, listen, if you want to make this trip a little longer, we can go over the Culvers. I'll get you a snack. He wants me to be able to to freely give that way. And so in my situation, he took away some bills. He took away some bills for me, so that I could focus on the resources that I do bring in from the employment that I have, on putting them towards the destinations that he wants me to go. Again, now I have the hope, and I don't have to have this long gap in between it. I can immediately turn it into knowing, because I have the resources to start building towards getting to where God wants me to go. And so that's what's happened with so many of us today. We have firmly landed from that trust fall with these new resources. It may not be that big end all be all thing that you said, but you do know now that you have the ability to turn your hope into a knowing, and that is what you're doing this for. You are still, that version of you that was like, I can't and I won't, that would see the, opportunities and turn into an obstacle. You have still that version of you, and now you're just knowing God. You're relating to God with everything, every single conversation, every single step that you take. How does this relate to God? So how does this help anybody to know God, or me to know him deeper working in me? So yeah, I'm excited about this next phase of my life. It was finally like, I always thought that it was like a house or a mansion. I'm not even going to sit here and sugarcoat it, you guys. I thought it was a man, but it was really just me coming into myself, that feminine energy that nurtures and grows, and that masculine energy that can actually, be the leader of my life to the extent that I'm supposed to lead, until God, adds a male figure to me. So I feel today completely whole and very sensitive. I got my earplugs in because it's like, it is buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. I'm not worried, even though I'm sitting on like a colossal thing here that anybody would be stressing out about. Like I said, I'm just waiting on to receive the phone call and discuss further and go from there. But I'm definitely stepped into my new phase where God provides, and if He's going to give me overflow, which is what I'm standing in right now, I'm standing in an overflow of gratitude. I'm standing in an overflow of grace. Then that's what I need to apply to people around me. Even if, like I said, if God has given you a overflow of grace today, then you make sure to give an overflow of grace to the people that you're around, and it starts there. It's not always just financial resources. It's your time, your love, your effort, your energy. So yeah, you guys, you've made it. Congratulations. Is you can go out there and celebrate despite what your resources may tell you. You're safe in the Lord's hands. Have a blessed day, you guys.